Hey everybody, it's Goldman and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today we're going to be doing another run of the Hobbit Arena Direct, trying to win a collector booster box, some physical Magic the Gathering cards by playing some digital Magic on Arena. You know the drill by now. This is super high stakes, $40 worth of gems to enter, and you don't get anything back, anything physical back until 7 wins with only 1 loss of breathing room. So incredibly high variance, but fingers crossed we open some great stuff and get a chance at that box today. For our rares, we've got some pretty cool stuff here. We've got a lot of red cards. We've got Dwaylen, the Misty Mountains Cold, and Stone Giant of High Pass. So a few red rares there. And the Misty Mountains Cold gives us a bunch of treasure tokens and a dragon. So once we sacrifice this and get our 6/6 flying dragon, we can then use those treasures for other stuff like splashing in something really powerful, like the Chief Warg's Company. So maybe a red-green splash black or a red-black splash green gives us the Chief Warg's Company and the Along the Crooked Way as well. Or for red-blue or red-green, splash in a Thranduil's Company, which is another absurdly powerful card. Landfall trigger of whenever a land you control enters, put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature and give it vigilance till end of turn. That is super gnarly. So there's some really powerful rares here. Obviously, many of them aligned into red in particular. What do we got for colorless and multicolored? We got double Hobbit Hole, triple Giant's Boulder, an Old Thrush. We have a lot of fixing. There's also a green-blue dual land, green-black dual land, red-black dual lands. That's 2 duals that align for going red, black, and green. Getting that Chief Warg's Company in here, maybe the Chief Warg as well. So something in the red, black, and green direction looks really, really splashable and viable, but having double Hobbit Hole 2 and an Elven King's Halls means that we also have that opportunity to splash around for Thranduil's Company if we go that direction instead. So really, really good fixing actually this time around. And we're probably splashing in a third color because of it and because of the quality of our rares. Checking out each color individually now so that we don't leave anything on the sidelines that doesn't deserve to be. White looks pretty decent. Lots of good creatures and some solid removal. Perfectly fine color. Blue. Some good interaction, some good card draw. Nothing super exciting though for me. Black, we've got triple Crude Bent Blade and Bilbo's Deadly Slice and Stir Up Trouble for removal. We've got the Golem, which is really good. It's a low creature count, but the non-creature spells are quite nice. Liking the black as a color. Red, we've got a lot of spells in general. Double Pinecone Strike as well is great. Obviously the huge top end of Stone Giant of High Pass, but Gandalf's a good one too. Removal spell when he enters. Smog is a removal spell and then a dragon. Gloin also, removal spell against the small stuff, and then you get a creature. So a lot of 2-for-1, like removal plus creature style cards late in the game. So red is looking really, really nice too. Probably my favorite color so far, pretty easily. It's got the great rares too. So loving the red. Finally, in green, we've got the nasty little rabbits. Keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And a bunch of fine filler creatures. Mirkwood Pathmaker's kind of sick. What else could be great here? We're going to have some high mana value rares to get to. Obviously, we've got the green-black. Chief Warg's Company, too. I think Chief Warg's Company is a stronger splash than Thranduil's Company, and I really like that we have better fixing there, too. So I think we can align ourselves into Jund. I think the big question here is whether we play black as a core color or green as a core color. So black, again, some of that really good removal. Wow, the triple Bent Blade. I think I want to do black over green as the main color. I mean, green's good, but it's all creatures that make it good. The 1 coral. Yeah, I'd rather roll in with the black here. Anything else to splash in green outside of the Chief Warg's Company? We could throw a coral in there, but we don't want to splash too many cards in, because then it just becomes playing a full 3-color deck where your mana is much less consistent, instead of just having like a few forests in there and getting your main colors consistently still. Yeah, I don't really think I need to splash any more in, because we've got a lot of removal in red and black alone, and that's the main splashable stuff. So we cut 9 cards. We're sitting on 18 creatures, but we also have Along the Crooked Way, which amasses, Rage into the Valley, which amasses, Misty Mountain's Cold makes a dragon. Goblin Plate Mail is immediately a creature. Tidings of War is a creature. So we add 5 to our creature count. We're on 23 creatures right now. That is a lot. Certainly cut some of them for legend rules. Let's just go down to 1 of that legendary Dory. Not sure the Chief Orc's super worth the splash. We've got some 4-power creatures for sure, but we won't always, and if we play that out without a 4-power creature on board, it's going to be very bad. We do not... Oh, we've got triple Bentblade, never mind. Yeah, triple Bentblade with the Dwelling's going to be great. And the Dwarven Mauler. It's 2 to equip, right? Yeah, the Dwarven Maulers can get equipped by the Bentblade for free. That's kind of sweet. Get some red-black equipment synergies. Creature count 16, plus the 5. I feel like our core creatures are so good, we might just cut some of the amassing nonsense. The Tidings of War here, Rage into the Valley. Maybe even along the Crooked Way. We don't actually have any other Graveyard Recursion cards to trigger this thing. We did in one of our sealed pools. That was pretty fun in our like green-black deck. But this is just going to be a 3-mana 1/1 pick up 1 creature. Probably not worth it by itself. Really need some other synergy. Yeah. Drop those. That puts us at 16 creatures plus 2, still 18. Still cut another one. We have a lot of really expensive stuff. Like, despite Legend Rule, it might actually be worth having more treasure tokens in here, like a second Dory. I mean, the problem is I'm cutting creatures right now, and I'm talking myself back into a creature I already cut. No Slow Punter. Cut some expendable creatures. And the card that wants to sack stuff. I mean, we could sack our blades once they've been sitting around, I suppose. Is something interesting. Or leftover treasures from Misty Mountain's Cold. Maybe I'm just going to be on like a really high creature count deck. Cut stuff like Reverent Howl. Okay, no, I don't really have other non-creature cards that I'm excited to cut. Really like the Dwarven Maulers with the bent blades. The Dwellin with all the bent blades and the short spear and the plate mail. And the Snow Slope Hunter makes sense with all the random equipment too. They've got like a large bear or something. Like it's a good stat line, but we've got so much synergy on all the other cards that we're running in here. Maybe jump up from the small stuff to the really big stuff, skip that spot on the mana curve and drop a large bear. Never thought I would cut a large bear from a deck, but I just have nothing cheap. But I'm love the idea of like Dwarven Mauler into any 2 drop into Bentblade. Like that's such a gnarly start. Maybe with all these removal spells, I cut the Smog actually too. Pretty nice that we have a halfling for our double Hobbit hole with the Golem in here. And that doesn't help me choose what to cut, but it is nice. And I don't love running like 0 card draw in here, but I feel like we have just a high enough card quality and enough 2-for-1 sort of stuff that could probably drop the short spear. We still have 4 equipment for the Maulers and the Weapon Master. And the Snow Slope Hunter is still card draw sacking equipment or treasure tokens in the late game. I'll actually drop this spear. I kind of want to just drop a wing, even though I like having more 2-mana creatures. It's just the most filler card we have left in the deck, even though it makes the mana curve more awkward. Yep, too bad. Get out of here, Oin. Alright, let's check our mana. We've got 13 red cards, 11 black, and 2 green. We want the 1 forest to tutor off of the Hobbit holes, so I agree with this. And then for red sources, we've got 7, 8, 9, 10. Black sources 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A 10-9 split of our main colors sounds very good to me. Call out a deck here, hop into the gameplay, and see how far this can take us. Alright, here we are on the draw for game number 1. Very powerful start here. Start with the Desolation Prowler, try to hit for 4 a turn if I can. Opponent is stuck on Mountain. Mountain kept a maybe risky hand over there. Let's get the Misty Mountains going, get our dragon as soon as possible. This will also be a bajillion treasure tokens for the Snow Slope Hunter later. There's the concession from our opponent. Sometimes they just keep a risky hand and don't draw out of it, and we get a nice, easy game 1 for us. Start things off 1-0 heading into game 2. Here we are on the play for game number 2. We'll have to play our 1-drop on turn 2 because of our tap land, but that's fine. The hand's really powerful again. Misty Mountain's Cold coming up if we hit any lands off the top. There's Night Owl Pursuer. No second black source to be able to golem it up, but still a good card. Perfect. Top deck the land to play Misty Mountain's Cold here and get the dragon out as quickly as possible. So Wood Elves from our opponent, they're also red, green, and black, ramping up. There's Dory. Dory's going to make the dragon come out even sooner, which is pretty sick. So I kind of like running that out here. Large bear. That is only 5 power and toughness, so it does not beat our 6/6 dragon. And here it is. 6/6 dragon. Counter on the Dory, so that Night Owl Pursuer has another 4 power creature if they kill the dragon, which they probably will. And then we also play the Golem here. We are absolutely racing this this large bear, so I'm not worried about double removaling where I could like double Bent Blade, or I could strike the elves and then Bent Blade or anything like that. Radagast of Rosgabel. Just gonna let them flash things in, which is pretty cool. I don't have the mana to play 2 Bent Blades after this Pinecone Strike. I could play 1 of them. Oh, they probably have a 3 mana creature here. Mirkwood Nurturer. Cool. Well, then I can double Pinecone Strike instead of play a Bent Blade here, because Bent Blade's going to do the same thing. Oh, I can double Pinecone Strike Bent Blade, because they played a creature small enough to die to Pinecone Strike. Yeah, they're probably dead then. They can't block any menace. They block the 6/6. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, they're just dead. Oh my god, that's insane. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Exactly dead. Chump blocking the dragon. What a game. That was absurd. The Misty Mountains Cold is a ridiculous card. We got a 6/6 flyer and had a bunch of treasures left behind to just spam a ton of spells in one turn to really flip the board in our favor, and we are 2-0 heading into game 3. All right, here we are on the draw for game number 3. Just gonna Hobbit hole into the green source first. That way if I want to Pinecone Strike turn 2, I can do that and still play an untapped land every turn while playing Company. And go Mountain, Pinecone Strike, Swamp, Company. I think I'm gonna do that even if I don't know that they're gonna play something to Pinecone Strike. Just the off chance that they do will be worth it. Yep, worth it. Oh, there's some noisemaker. If they've got the Pinecone Strike alongside, yeah, that's a really good sealed pool. The double up, good hand. Well, speaking of Pinecone Strike, kill that noisemaker before it makes any more creatures. Chief Warg being protected by that army from dying to Bent Blade. He is awkward. There's Golem in a tap land. There's the removal for Golem, but they don't have a 4-power creature yet to draw any cards with the Warg, luckily. Gandalf's a good draw. Just kill Chief Warg. Gnashing of Teeth. There goes Gandalf. Go to 14. Snow Slope Hunter. Just draws a land. Okay, let's Bent Blade away that, and then they have nothing left. We've got a Goblin army that we can throw some counters on with Goblin Town. We do not have a second copy of Golem in this deck, so we don't have any halflings. Just double checking. Don't want to miss playing an event like this. I mean, even though I already have plenty. So we play out the Hobbit hole and then a land out of our deck. Practice. Find lands. Find lands off the top. That's fine. We can Goblin Town it up. Boom. Boom. 6 damage a turn. You better draw something quick, Sauron Sack Punch. Let's go. Top deck land. Whatever. We're hitting for 6. Bring it on. One blocker, but we've got Menace over here. And we top deck a crude Bent Blade for lethal. Hit them for 8 damage. Brutal game. We are 3-0 heading into game 4. All right, here we are on the play for game number 4. We got a Chief Warg's Company pretty early. It's a bunch of 3-mana stuff, so we just have to sit here and keep cracking our tap lands. I'm actually going to grab the red first in case I draw like a Pinecone Strike or something I need to play turn 2. Who knows? They could play like, oh wow, that worked really well. I forgot I have 2 1-mana red cards. That's another reason to do that. Man, everything is working out perfectly so far. Don't jinx it. Dwarven Provisioner from our opponent. I think we're supposed to just run out the company and see if they have cheap enough removal here. Out of white, I don't think there's a lot they can do here. They'd have to play a secondary color like go Mountain Pinecone Strike or Swamp Blade. They do not do either of those things. They play a Dory, so we get at least 1 wolf from the Warg's Company, so it's already been a 2-for-1. I don't really need to spend removal on a 3-2 when I'm going to get a bunch of 2-2s. Let's just play our own Dory and pass. Not cashing in any removal yet. Magnificent, and they will tap out Kill Chief Orc's Company, but we still got the 2/2 out of them, so not bad. There's Crude Bent Blade, that's a good draw. That's a removal spell I don't mind using at all. An extra 2 damage immediately, is that worth it? We have some 7-drops in the deck, but I feel like the pressure is worth it here to cash the treasure in. Against their empty board when we have 2 removal spells to play to keep it that way. There's Dane. And Oin. Okay. Play a Dwarven Mauler and hold up Bilbo's Deadly Slice. They're down to 8. Here's Dwarven Mauler. They play another legend or an artifact or a saga, then we'll have to start paying mana to attack them, and all of their enduring story cards will be better. They pass through with all of their mana up. I think I'm supposed to throw a removal spell at them right now because theoretically we can start getting lethal. They don't have interactions. Let's find out. Show me what you got. Settle the Wreckage. So they're down to 2 cards, but we've got 2 cards as well, so it's actually still a favored game. We have an equipment left on the board, and we have a lot more mana. And a lot more life. We're not massively favored anymore, but we're still certainly favored. Bit of a top deck war here. Should I cash in the blade or keep it? Because it's going to be a 4 power if I keep the blade. I think I'm supposed to keep the blade here, because we have their life total on any hit while it's equipped. Dang. That would be the reason to cash it in if they immediately have the removal. There's a 2/2. There's another blade. Most of our creatures are almost immediately lethal now that they're getting +4 power when we draw anything. There's a 2/2 flyer. There's a Night Howl Pursuer. That is 7 power. Because it buffs itself when we have a power 4 or greater creature. It's also got Menace. But another removal spell in their hand, that is not good. There's the Crude Bent Blade, and they don't have enough mana to cast Smog until they draw another land. Now literally every creature in our deck is lethal. We don't have any 1-power creatures in here, I don't think. They play Smog. We draw a Goblin Plate Mail for a lethal menacing threat. So they have to draw removal again. Or a creature, in which case they double block, and that's not that bad for me because I'll kill both. They top-decked removal again. This game's still going. We are 3 turns from dead, but they are 1 creature from dead. Misty Mountains Cold is a creature, but it takes a long time to come out, unfortunately. Down to 8. We got 2 more turns. Ain't a swamp. Down to 3. And we're dead. That's no reach. The creature's a turn too late. Brutal. Just get Settle the Wreckage out of it. Man. Rough game. 3-1 it is, heading into game number 5. Okay. Here we are on the draw for game number 5. Just grab that green source, get it out of the way. Opponent's also on black-green. There's the Misty Mountains in our opener instead of late game this time, which is going to be awesome. Probably going to removal spell the Prowler in response to me taking a couple damage, but still going to make them have it. Sure. Drop the Misty Mountains cold. Drop the Chief Ward. We'll Pinecone Strike that for sure. Actually, just Bent Blade it while they don't have an army or anything. Large Bear. Stir up trouble on that thing. Go to 13. The Chief Ward's company too. Makes me want to double spell, so I will. They're over it, and we are 4-1 now. Pretty much at the break-even point, getting all these gems back for another run at least, but hopefully we can win a little more so we are actually in the money out of this run. All right, here we are on the draw again for game number a lot. I might regret this, but I think I need to grab black and make sure that I have Deadly Slice mana available. Yeah, I've only got one green card in the entire deck, and we know we have Deadly Slice in the opener. I can also hold this in hand in case I flood out. I can Halfling Cycle. Okay, there's 2 reasons to maybe hold on to the Hobbit Hole. If we draw a swamp, then I know later I can play it and grab a forest. Also, if I just draw a bunch of lands, I can cycle it and grab Golem. So it could come back to bite us where I have to play a tap land on a turn where I wanted to spend all my mana, but I'm going to hold on to it because I think there's enough reasons to do so that it's fair here. They played Nori. Let's play Dwaylen. Red-black mirror match. Take 2. Or trade. Trade's not awful here, but got a ton of removal. They played Nori and Dory. Probably Pinecone Strike the bigger creature. Could also play the Plate Mail and start getting Weapon Master triggers, which is pretty powerful. I think now I will just go ahead and Hobbit Hole into the next black mana. Okay, I'm going to take a hit for this, but we'll start working on owning things up. Play Oin the Brave. They have an Enduring Story because all they got are Legends out. Crack the Treasure to Pinecone Strike away our Goblin. We definitely got to start casting removal now. Go to 11. Okay. This almost feels like enough treasure to sacrifice my Plate Mail. Go Pinecone Strike and stir up trouble. Alright, well. If they don't buff Dory in some way or kill Dwaylen, it's actually better to kill Nori. Because we can just sit behind Dwaylen here and hold off the 3-2 with our first strike. Definitely an argument to still kill Dory there, because if they do throw removal at Dwaylen or something, we are taking 1 more point of damage per turn by choosing the other creature. The Great Goblin. Whenever you put one or more counters on a Goblin, Orc, or army, it deals 2 to each opponent, and whenever the Goblin, Orc, or armies die, exile the top card, they can play it till the next turn. It's more than scary enough to just kill that before they do any of those things. 1 land away from Gandalf trying to flip this game in our favor. The Misty Mountain's cold, though. Try to keep their board empty so that we can crude Bentblade away the dragon. Come on, top deck land. Perfect. Start jamming in for damage and hope they can't play another creature alongside that dragon. Okay, unfortunately they can, so we'll Bentblade that away so that we can start honing up the Bentblade and getting more damage in, because it's not going to stop the dragon if they have another creature out anyway. Holding on to the Hobbit hole because we can grab Golem with it and get another +1/+1 counter on the board if nothing else. Also gain a life. We can do that in 1 turn because it's 4 mana to use this, 1 mana to use that ability. Here's the dragon. We're gonna have a 6 power first striker attacking in though. The dragon just can't even block. Although there's another creature for them. They just got double trump blockers at the ready. So we attack with Dwaylen, the gigantic first strike creature, so that they can't profitably block, and then we just move the blade over to the reach creatures they can't attack either. Ah, they have a stir-up trouble too. Yikes. It's really bad. There's Oin, haste as well. Hope go to 9. That's just gonna kill Oin here. And then the Opportunist is going to kill my Gandalf so that they can keep the dragon. He's still on 4 lands, all spells. Wow, yeah. Tons of spells. Oh, we've got a lot of removal still in this deck. They could have just drawn another creature. And the Bent Blade doesn't work. I guess we don't have much removal left, actually, because Bent Blade doesn't count. We've already used Deadly Slice, Pinecone Strike won't work, Bent Blade won't work. That's mainly what we have left. But it's like, if I take this trade here and then I draw like another creature on the ground, I'm just going to die in the sky. I think I have to take this and just hope to draw a creature on the ground to stop that from hitting me and keep Gandalf for the flyer. Draw the golem that I was saving the Hobbit hole for. Yeah, I mean, that's a thing. It is 5 toughness now, which does matter. means Opportunist can't send in now. Please flood out, opponent. Have you still only drawn 4 lands? I mean, I guess the risk there is maybe the last card in their hand is a good 5 or 6 mana card that they've been waiting on. Well, that's awful. It's a very bad sign. Go to 5. Discard a card, draw 2. It was still not a land. Equip. It's a one-shot lethal if we draw dead, but we're going to filter another land out of our deck here. And top deck another one. Unfortunately, we're not quite as good at dodging the lands as our opponent this game. Dang. That'll probably do it. I mean, I guess we're at 1, not 0. Tap land, so we run it out. 1 is not 0. I remember this being 3 to equip, so I just assumed 3 to equip for +3, but it's just 3 to equip for +2. Well, please don't kill me by killing Dory. I would appreciate it a lot. Now is your turn to draw your lands. Yes, now's their turn to draw their lands. There's a removal spell for their first threats, if it's small enough. That is small enough, but it kills me when it enters the battlefield. Are you serious right now? That's magic, baby. What a run. This deck felt pretty incredible. I feel like it had to get hosed pretty bad to lose these games, and it certainly did. That's part of Magic, and it happens. We got Settle the Wreckage. Our opponent had to draw gas several turns in a row to live, and they did, off of just blind top decks. And then the second loss, we just drew like twice as many lands until very, very late. Got into a top deck war and lost it. That's Magic for you. Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with this deck. I don't think there's a whole ton we could have done in our losses. I mean, if I knew they had exactly Settle, I guess I could have attacked with 2 out of 3 creatures, but I think we only had lethal through a removal spell by attacking with everybody, and obviously they're way more likely to have like a single target removal spell than a whole Settle the Wreckage, so I think it was probably right to all attack there, because even if you do all attack and they settle you, that ends with us at parity, 2 cards in hand to 2 cards in hand. We have an equipment left over and much more life, so yeah, I mean, even getting settled there, we're favored hard. It just didn't pan out with the draws. Yeah, I think the settle game was probably right. That settle attack, at least. Maybe there was some other stuff that I was missing that would have favored us more. And then again, for that final loss, don't remember anything going astronomically wrong, but maybe there was some play that pulls us just far enough ahead because we really were just like 1 creature away from lethal because our equipments were big enough. Any creature could get us there. Rough stuff, though. Still no box after several attempts, but that was a good one. We get pretty much all our gems back here at 4 and 2, but that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send me some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.